Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How are you, students? Today we will study unit number 9, Physical Optics, lecture number 41. Today topic is diffraction of X-rays by crystal. Diffraction of X-rays by crystal. So, X-rays is used to calculate the composition, the chemical composition of atom, chemical composition. The diffraction of X-rays is used to calculate the chemical composition, crystallographic structure, and the physical properties. Physical properties can be also calculated. These physical properties, chemical composition, and crystallographic structure are investigated with the help of X-rays, because the wavelength of X-rays is 10 raised to power minus 10 meter. 10 raised to power minus 10 meter. So it is suitable for calculation of for the study of internal structure of the atom. X-rays diffraction is a non-destructive technique that provides detailed information about the crystallographic structure, chemical composition, and the physical properties of the material. X-rays diffraction is a powerful non-destructive technique for crystallizing crystalline material. It provides information on the structure, phases, proper crystal orientation, texture, and other structure parameters such as average grain size, strain, and crystal defects. It is not possible to produce interference fringes of X-rays by Young double-slit experiment or by thin film. You cannot produce interference pattern with of X-rays in thin film. The reason is that the fringe spacing is given by lambda L divided by 2, lambda L divided by D, and unless the slits are separated by a distance of the order 10 raised to power 10 meter. If the slit separation is so much, then diffraction can take place from X-rays, otherwise not. It means that when the wavelength size is less than the size of the slit, diffraction will take place, otherwise it will not diffract. However, it is possible to obtain X-rays diffraction by using sodium chloride crystal, which is common table salt. The atoms of crystal are uniformly spaced in planes and are distance d apart in a seal. Diffraction can take place. You can study the structure of sodium light. Now, X-rays diffraction peaks are produced by constructive interference of a monochromatic beam of X-rays. X-rays are monochromatic, scattered at specific angles from each set of lattice planes in a sample. The peak intensities are determined by the atomic positions within the lattice planes. Consequently, the X-rays diffraction pattern is a fingerprint of periodic atomic arrangement in a given material. An online search of a standard database for X-rays powder diffraction pattern enables quick phase identification for a large variety of crystalline samples. Now, consider a beam of X-rays. Beam of X-rays, beam, X-ray beam. Here a crystal is placed in its path. It is passed through the crystal. Here is screen. It is depicted at different angle. At different angle it is depicted. Photographic film, screen. Now Bragg's law, based on diffraction phenomena. Based on diffraction phenomena. To find the wavelength of X-rays beam by crystal, we use Bragg's law. So basically, we use Bragg's law to find the wavelength. To find the wavelength. To find the wavelength of X-rays beam by crystal. From crystal, by diffracting X-rays from crystal, you can find the wavelength by using Bragg's law. The mathematical form of Bragg's law is 2d sine theta is equal to n lambda. This is the mathematical form. Now, come to the statement. In physics, Bragg's law or Bragg's condition, a special case of diffraction, gives the angle for coherent and incoherent scattering from a crystal lattice. When X-rays are incidents on an atom, they make the electronic cloud move, as does any electromagnetic wave. Now, Bragg's diffraction. Now here coherent and incoherent scattering. So first I will explain coherent scattering, also known as unmodified scattering. Unmodified. Unmodified scattering, classical scattering, or elastic scattering. Elastic scattering is one of the three forms of photon interaction which occurs when the energy of the X-rays or gamma photon is small in relation to the ionization energy of the atom. It is therefore occur with low energy radiation. With low energy radiation. Now the second term is incoherent scattering. Incoherent scattering is a type of scattering phenomena in physics. The term is mostly commonly used when referring to the scattering of an electromagnetic wave by random fluctuation in a gas of particles, most often electrons. So incoherent scattering is the term is most commonly used in the scattering of electromagnetic wave. The scattering of an electromagnetic wave. Coherent scattering is also known as unmodified. Incoherent is the modified. Coherent is classical scattering. Elastic scattering is one of the three forms of photon interaction which occurs when the energy of the X-rays or gamma photon is small in relation with the ionization of the atom. It is therefore occurs with low energy radiation. It occurs at low energy radiation. The real difference comes when we deal with atoms. In that case, the scattering leaves the atom in the ground state. We deal with coherent scattering, whereas if the electrons is ejected from the atom, the scattering is Compton scattering. Coherent. The example of coherent source is coherent scattering is Young double slit experiment, Michelson interferometer. Like these are the interference phenomena. These gives verification of coherent scattering. For Bragg's diffraction. Bragg's diffraction only occur when wavelength is comparable to the atomic spacing. When wavelength lambda is less than the atomic spacing, are equal, then Bragg's diffraction will take place, otherwise Bragg's diffraction will not occur. Secondly, the glancing angle theta, the part difference must be equal to 2d sine theta is equal to n lambda. The part difference will be doubled. We will explain this in the next coming diagram. So it can interfere constructively or destructively. Both can take place. And the third thing is the diffraction of X-rays has been very useful in to determine the structure of biological important molecules such as hemoglobin, which is an important constituent of blood, and double helix structure. Double helix structure of DNA. The mathematical form is already written, where this is the mathematical form of Bragg's law. Now if you can look, a ray of light is coming here. This part difference is equal to this. This is ray 1, this is ray 2. This is equal distance. After this it will reflect. This cover this extra distance. So AB is the part difference. AB is the part difference. Now from here it is reflected. So BC is also the part difference plus BC. This is the part difference. This distance is equal to this distance. This represents the part difference. AB plus BC. This is equal to path difference. This is equal to part difference. So we can calculate it by using trigonometry. This is sine theta. Sine theta. Now sine theta is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. So sine theta is equal to, this is in front of angle, so it will be considered perpendicular, which is AB, and hypotenuse is equal to D. This is hypotenuse, it is equal to D. Here it is taken. So AB is equal to D sine theta. Similarly, BC is also equal to D sine theta. So here AB plus BC, these part difference are equal. This is equal to this. So AB is equal to D sine theta, BC is equal to D sine theta. So this part difference is equal to n lambda. So n lambda is equal to D sine theta plus D sine theta. So n lambda is equal to 2D sine theta, where n is integer called the order of diffraction. So the calculation we done, AB plus BC is equal to part difference, which is equal to n lambda. AB is equal to d sine theta, BC is equal to d sine theta. So their sum will be equal to which is AB plus BC is equal to d sine theta plus d sine theta is equal to n lambda. So 2d sine theta is equal to n lambda. This is the Bragg's law. Now we will explain polarization. Natural sunlight and almost every other form of artificial illumination transmit light waves whose electric field vectors vibrate in all perpendicular planes with respect to the direction of propagation. When the electric field vectors are restricted to a single plane by filtration, then the light is said to be polarized with respect to the direction of propagation and all the waves vibrate in the same plane. Or otherwise you can define it like this. Polarization is the process by which the electric and magnetic vibration of light waves are restricted to a single plane. For example, the confining of light rays, the confining the vibration of light rays, vibration of light to one particular plane. For example, this is vertical vibration, this is horizontal vibration, this is at certain angle, this is at another angle. So ordinary light, sunlight, have all plane of vibration, when it is passed through a polarized lens or glass. Polarized glass, when it is passed, it will block all types of vibration. It will allow only the horizontal vibration to pass through it. The rest will be blocked. The rest of vibration will be blocked. Only horizontal can pass through it. So this ordinary light have all types of vibration, and now this have only horizontal vibration. Horizontal or might be it will be vertical, depend on the arrangement of lens, setup, depend on the setup. So this is called polarized light. Polarized light, which have vibration to whose vibration are confined to one particular plane. So when ordinary light, all types of vibration are blocked, and only its vibration is confined to one particular plane, is called polarization. Now consider the same example. All types of vibration pass through a polarized lens. Only horizontal is allowed. Now we place another lens, glass, whose vibration are parallel. So it will block the horizontal also. This is called analyzer. This is called polarizer. It polarized the light ray and it blocked the polarized light ray also. So it is called analyzer. Here, if you look to this diagram, Now this have all types of vibration, or one plane, other plane. uh, so when it pass, only vertical vibration is passing. This is vertical, this is vertical. So it allow the vertical vibration to pass, but this allow only horizontal to pass. It will block the vertical also. So this is called analyzer, also called polarizer, because it try to polarize in a horizontal way, it polarize in a vertical way. So this is called polarizer, and this is called analyzer. Now it is possible to transform unpolarized light into polarized light. Polarized light waves are light waves in which the vibration occurs in a single plane. The process of transforming unpolarized ordinary light to polarized light to by confining the vibration of ordinary light to one particular plane is called polarization. You can polarize light by transmission, by reflection. Polarization can take place through refraction and through scattering also. Light, again the same diagram in a good way. Here only vertical vibration pass, that is also blocked. This is called analyzer, this is called polarizer. Polarization. This is ordinary light. This is here it contains ordinary light, all types of vibration pass through it. It block all types of vibration, only vertical can pass through it. The vertical is also blocked, so here no light. This is arranged in a different way, only this can pass. This convert this vibration into vertical vibration. This is called polarizer, this is called optical rotation. Change the angle of vibration. Now you can see vibration, all types of vibration, only one types of vibration. Here this is unpolarized incident light ray, so their vibration is confined parallel to this surface. So this is polarization by reflection. Polarization by reflection. When this light ray is reflected from a surface, and after reflection its vibration is confined to one particular plane, is called polarization by reflection. Reflection of light off of a non-metallic surface result in some degree of polarization parallel to the surface. Might be this is perfectly polarized by reflection. Might be the polarization will be partial polarization. Partial polarization can also take place. Now here this is unpolarized light ray. It enters from rare medium into denser medium. So it is reflected and partially polarized. Might be it will have impurity vibration in other plane also, but in this case if it is only confined to one particular plane, then it is perfectly polarization. This is also polarized, partially polarized, because it contains vibration like this. Now students, this is light ray. which have one plane of vibration. This is the other light ray, plane polarized reflected light ray. Here the ray have polarized light ray. This one is unpolarized because it will have all types of vibration. Only this is shown. If it have only confined to one particular plane, then it is called polarized light ray. Now students, polarization is the confining of light rays to one particular plane. To one particular plane is called polarization. Confining of light ray, confining vibration of light rays to one particular plane is called polarization. In next coming topic, we will study different types of polarization and the optical rotation, and this inshallah we will finish this chapter. Thank you students. Allah Hafiz.